There's all the different types of coffee.
We have made it to Verona. We are back in Italy, and right now this is one of the cities that we haven't been to before, so it's cool being able to actually get here. We are currently at a bridge. This was one of the first...
It's a gate, not a bridge.
It's a gate.
It's an old Roman gate from the 1st century AD.
And right now it is currently under construction, so you get the nice little picture of it. Now we are going to head over to Castel Vecchio, see that. Hopefully that's not totally on construction. We did come to Italy kind of at a bad time of year because the Jubilee is next year, so basically everything is under construction right now. It's okay. We're still going to have a good time. Welcome to Castel Vecchio. This is a castle that's actually just in like the middle of Verona. We're staying right next to the arena, which I feel like is another popular thing here. And this is maybe like a 10-minute walk, so definitely check it out. This was actually built in the 1300s by the Scala family, who were the ruling family during kind of the Middle Ages. And it was built as a fortification for them. And it's really cool. It's got like a whole moat around it. Like it feels very reminiscent of those times. It did also serve as an actual fortification and successfully held off the Venetians, the French, and the Austrians throughout the years. An actually useful fortification as well. Now it is kind of one of a highly regarded museum and architectural site across Italy and Europe, and people come here to kind of study all of that. It did see some damage during World War II. And it was also the site of the Verona trials, where Mussolini condemned the traitors to kind of his cause. It does have a little bit of history to it in that sense as well. It has been refurbished, and since the kind of 1920s, late 1920s, it has served as a museum here in Verona. Inside the museum, some of the things that people kind of come to see, there's a lot of Gothic and Romanesque style art and sculptures here, so definitely something cool to check out. It's right in the city, super easy to get to, and you got a little water view right off to the left here, so pretty cool place to visit. So we also have this arch here, and if you look in the middle, there's little grooves that have been made by the kind of Roman wagons that have been going through the arch here over hundreds, thousands of years. And apparently this distance here, the distance of the Roman wagons, is actually what they used to build the railroads. So that was the same distance that they built railroad tracks. So you can kind of see that through there. It's cool to see, everyone kind of follow the same paths, like when you see all the different walking paths throughout forest or different areas like that. So it's cool to see this being built into, kind of engraved into the stone over the years. We got some nice little french fries with some barbecue sauce and some curry ketchup. And then I planned one for my mom. A little snacky before our wine tour.
All right, we're taking a little walk to start a tour, but got some Venchi. Got a tiramisu one.
I got a vanilla and fiorito latte, which is fresh milk.
But it is lined with chocolate and like chocolate chips. We absolutely love their gelato. It's definitely a chain.
So good.
One of the best things about Europe are these little vending machine shops.
We love them.
So we're just getting some waters. This one's quite colorful. But they always have snacks.
It's definitely not as fancy as the one that we had in Lucerne. That one we get like full-on charcuterie boards and bottles of wine, but cool, man. This is good too.
Then it was officially time for the wine tour. This was actually our second wine tour we've ever been on, or vineyard tour. The first one we ever went to was actually in Porto over the summer. We do have a whole video on that. We went to the Douro Valley, but our first stop was Verona here, which dates back to the 1900s. The actual Verona family became the owners of the farmhouse in the 1960s and began selling their incredible wine. We got to tour both the old farmhouse and the newer facilities here, which was absolutely incredible, and we learned so much walking around. And of course, there was a tasting, so we got to try some different ones, had some cheese and meats to pair with it. And here's a little look at all of the ones that we got to try. And then after that, we got to head over to Court Archie. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, which was a stark contrast to the larger one at Verona. This one dates back more than 100 years ago, and it was so charming. And the great-grandmother of the current owner, Caterina, bought land and started to produce typical wines here. When she died, her son split up the area, and today the winery is still run by the same family. It was really cool because the tour was given by one of the family members, so it felt extremely personal. We also, again, learned so much on this tour, so I highly recommend going on a vineyard tour if you are visiting the Verona area, because you'll definitely get a lot out of it. All right, everybody, it is the next day.
We had a nice wine tour yesterday. We went to 2 different vineyards and tried out. The first one was 5 wines. Was the second one 5 wines too? I think it was like 10.
I thought it was 5 and 6.
I don't know. I lost count after the first vineyard, but they were actually really good. And we took pictures of them to take note and see if maybe we can find some back in Italy when we go back to Vegas. I doubt one of them was definitely like a smaller family run one, so that one's definitely not going to be over there, but I'm sure we'll find something. But yeah, we went and did that yesterday. It was really fun. We came back and kind of like crashed afterwards. But we're headed out now to get some pizza because we're both hungry. We found one of the stores that we loved when we were back here over the summer is here, so we might stop by in there and then maybe go see Juliet's balcony before we head back here, because we're actually doing another tour, not really a tour, but we booked a cooking class with, I want to say it's an actual Italian grandma. So we're going to like her house and she's gonna teach us how to make pasta. We're gonna do pasta and tiramisu. So I'm kind of really excited about this because I've always wanted to learn how to make pasta, but that is gonna be later today. And then we head out tomorrow to our next location.
We started out with a bruschetta starter with burrata, prosciutto, and tomato. This was the best one we had on the entire trip. It was so good. Then I had basically the same thing, but on a pizza, and Jesse had a pizza with caramelized onions and potato.
That pizza was chef's kiss. Incredible. It was so good. And the little like crostini thing we got, the burrata, the tomato, oh my god, it was amazing. 100% would recommend coming here. And it was like, I mean, we're staying right in like middle of town, and it was 5-7 minutes. So it wasn't bad at all.
Anywhere in Italy especially, and you see this store, you have to go in. They have the cutest little things.
It's all like art themed things, and they have cool colors and bright colors and stuff for like your kitchen and literally like anything. It's just a random amount of things in there, but it's always so fun to look at. And they have a website where you can ship to the US, so you can also like go in there and look at things and be like, oh my god, I love all this, and then order it online and have it shipped to your house so you don't have to bring it home with you.
We also think we might have found part of the market. Unsure, but they had mulled wine.
It very much doesn't feel like the Christmas markets in like Germany. It feels more so like it's just a market that's like here, and there's like a couple Christmassy things that get added.
A tree.
And there's one store that's definitely selling like hot wine and chestnuts, like roasted chestnuts. But we're gonna give it a walk through, see what they have, and then probably head over to Juliet's balcony. And there's also a cathedral here that we want to hit up before we have to leave for our cooking class. So right behind me is the Verona Cathedral, and this is the original spot. Back in the early 1100s, there were two Paleo-Christian churches that were here, but they were destroyed by an earthquake. They were destroyed by an earthquake back in 1117, and then this cathedral started to be built. So this has actually been here. It was consecrated in 1137, so it has been here for over 800 years, and it's been renovated a couple times. It sounds like they've done some updates to it throughout the years, but the actual like plan of the cathedral has mainly remained untouched since it was built 800 years ago.
We made it to the Juliet's balcony, which is free, but you do have to pay to go into the house. So we came over to the little courtyard to check it out. Luckily, it's not super busy.
No, it's not. It's pretty chill here right now.
This is the exact balcony that everyone says Shakespeare was inspired by in Romeo and Juliet. All right, we just stopped at a little place called Jury, which we saw online was one of the better local places to get gelato, because we tend to eat at the chains here, so we wanted to try at least one local one. But we got an affogato, a bourbon Madagascar gelato, and 2 waters, and it was $8.50. We thought she said $18.50, $8.50. But here it is. It's right down the street from Juliet's balcony if you head over there. But we're now in a rush to head back to the hotel to make it in time for the cooking class. Y'all, getting to this class was an adventure. The road was so bumpy because our driver accidentally took a wrong turn, but once we got there, it was so much fun. We started off by making tiramisu, and when I tell you this is the best tiramisu we have ever had, we also learned that you have to be super, super quick when dipping the lady fingers in the espresso. I just know we're going to be making this at home sometime. Here's Jessie making some of the ravioli. This was a pesto made with black cabbage, which sounds strange, but when I tell you this is some of the best pesto we have ever had, like I want to learn how to make this pesto filling now. But here's Jessie continuing to make the ravioli. You have to be extremely careful too to make sure that there's no air pockets when you are folding it. So this was just really fun to learn, and I know now we're both going to want to actually try to make our own pasta every now and then.
Musica italiana. Alexa, musica di vai. Brava.
This was one of the pastas that we had. We had a traditional Verona style with peas and red sauce, and then of course we were eating more of the tiramisu later on that night. We're heading out. This is what the little hotel room looked like.
We had a little two-person suite because we actually stayed with my parents this time. So there was an entrance and then this little room here that we used. And then there's a whole little room in here. A little coffee maker, there's a mini fridge in there.
With a balcony.
Nice little bathroom. Wasn't too bad. I'm sure it was expensive, but my parents paid for it, so I'm not 100% sure. But we are headed out now to catch the train. We gotta pack up the last couple of things and then we'll head out.